In this video, we find out who the most loved and most hated villagers are from every personality type.
Let's start with normal villagers.
The villager that Animal Crossing fans hate the most won't make this normal villager's day any better. It's Bettina. Okay, poor Bettina. She's got that little side bang going on, looking like Ratatouille just saw a ghost. She looks like you just told her that you bought a bunch of mouse traps for the house. Poor thing. And knowing Animal Crossing fans and how they hate Bettina, maybe you guys are buying traps for her. Uh-oh. Now for the most loved normal villagers. First, because we have so many villagers, I've decided to include two runner-ups. First up, Marina in third place. She's one of my personal favorites, and she's the epitome of sweet, caring, and kind. I'd give her a hug, but I think her tentacles might stick to me and I might loosen my blood, so air hug? Second place is Coco. Very sweet, very interesting. Can't go wrong with Coco. Finally, the most loved normal villager is none other than the new villager, Ione. I have no idea how to say her name. My reading comprehension skills have plummeted ever since I left high school, and they never really started to begin with, so good luck teaching me. I'll try to learn though. Ione is very cool. She looks like a cross between Judy and Marshall, a galactic squirrel. What could go wrong? Well, I don't know if nuts exist in space. You know, space nuts. So I don't know if she's gonna make it out alive in space, but I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her. Oh, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. And tell me down below which one's your favorite and least favorite. I'll be responding to a bunch of comments. Growl! That's the sound I think I would make if I were a cranky villager. And apparently the sound you all make when you see this villager because you ranked him so low on the list. It's Boyd. I'll be honest, the amount of hate gorilla villagers get is so unnecessary. I think the majority of Animal Crossing fans just like cute, small little animals, but come on, what's not cute about a gorilla? I'd give Boyd a big hug before I'd give Coco a hug. Coco looks like she'll cut me up and put me in the freezer for Christmas dinner, and then again for New Year's a few days later. Boyd looks like a chill, cool dude. Anyways, let's get to the most loved cranky villagers. In third place, it's Fang. He's a wolf. I mean, let's call it what it is. If you told me a wolf was coming to Animal Crossing, the first thought I'd have is something that looks like Fang. He just looks like a regular old wolf, so it checks out. Second place, we have the Robert De Niro, Goodfellas, Godfather-looking king, Marlowe. I don't know why I adore him so much, but I do. I just think he's the coolest. And the most loved cranky villager, was it any surprise? Look up at the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's an eagle with a leather jacket? Oh, right, that's Apollo. Yeah, Apollo makes a ton of sense as the most loved cranky and eagle villager. Achoo! Wait, that's not Snooty, that's Snotty. Sorry, I have a cold. And you all have a cold heart because you put Mayel as the worst snooty villager in the game. Now I'm gonna try my best to take my personal opinion out of this video because it's about the fans, not me. But as someone who can't keep my Animal Crossing opinions to myself, I have to tell ya, leave this girl alone. She's so adorable. She's a freaking duck. Ducks are top tier species, and she looks like she'd step on your foot and say, you better tell me thank you for that, all right? That energy is what I'm looking for. The third most loved snooty villager is Peppy, a scientist that was born with the best eyelashes in the country, I must say. Second place is Judy. As an obsessed Judy hater, it's nice to see her in second place and not first for once. Just kidding, I like Judy. We have a complicated relationship, alright? A lot of people have a very complicated relationship with this villager, Anka, who is probably the most iconic Animal Crossing villager of 2021 for some interesting reasons. Anka is an epic villager, she's got one of the best designs in the game, and she's a cat. Who doesn't like cats? Bark, bark! Oh right, dogs don't like cats. Fun fact, there's only one dog in this entire video. Can you guess who it is? You'll see later. Now, I got out of bed at 2 p.m. today. Some people may call me lazy, but that's okay, because all the best Animal Crossing villagers are lazy too. So I'll take that as a compliment, thank you very much. Except for Clyde, who is the community's least favorite lazy villager, and I don't disagree with their choice. Sorry, Clyde. Now for the top 3, starting with Zucker. I personally think Zucker should be the number 1, but don't look at me. I love Zucker, but just like Marina, I'd never give him a hug. Not only does he have tentacles and eat bugs for breakfast, but I feel like he pees himself and doesn't change after, so I'm gonna take my distance. Someone else who definitely pees himself at least once or twice before, the second most loved lazy villager, Sherb. Yeah, he's sweet. Many people say he gives cute grandpa vibes, and I totally see that. But in first place, we have a brand new villager, Sasha. Sasha's one of the coolest villagers because he defies a lot of people's expectations of gender expression and what people should wear based on their gender. And people, as someone who is a boy and dresses up in feminine ways sometimes and gets called girly, it's cool to see a villager in the game who does the same. Now, I've never been a jock myself, but I've had my fair share of experiences with jocks, and I'll tell you this. They're not as one note as the media and society makes you think they are, alright? Let's stop the jock hate in media. I've met boy jocks, girl jocks, gay jocks, silly jocks, serious jocks, lazy jocks, depressed jocks. Jocks come in all shapes and sizes and personalities. But one thing is certain, Curly is the worst jock, at least according to fans. Poor Piggy, I think he's quite adorable, but not as cool as the top 3. At number 3, we have Genji, who looks like he could be a character in Overwatch or something. His design's pretty sweet. Number 2, the meme king, Rolled. I mean, look at those eyes. They look like bowling balls. And bowling is a sport. Alright, bowling is a sport. So maybe Rolled is a bowling ball champ, and that's what became a jock. Alright, but that's just a theory. A game theory. You don't have to be as smart as MatPack to know that Dom is the most loved jock villager. He's got a cute smile on his face and always looks so happy to lift some weights, can't relate. I love him to be my personal trainer. Now, if I were an Animal Crossing villager, I think I'd either be Peppy or Lazy. And since I'm pretty feminine while also being a man, I think being a cross between the two kind of makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the community's most hated Peppy villager, Candy. Maybe it does make sense. I just want to take my 2 fingers and pop her pimple-looking cheeks. Now, wouldn't that be satisfying? No. I think she's cute, though. Y'all are doing too much on Candy. Squirt, squirt. In the 3rd place, it's Ketchup. Don't you hate it when you squirt the ketchup bottle and the only thing that comes out is liquidy, watery ketchup that tastes like tomato sweat? Well, don't worry. Ketchup's not going to do that to you. Alright? She's not going to let you down. She's amazing. Just like the number 2 most popular Peppy villager, Audie. I recently said that she reminds me of a California girl, Katy Perry, West Coast represent. And yeah, I still stand by that. She's really cute. I really like her. She's sweet, but she's not as cool as the best Peppy villager according to fans. And on top of that, she's the most loved villager in the entire game right now. Wow, how does it feel to be number 1, Shino? Yeah, what can I say about Shino? She's freaking sweet. I would do anything for her. And honestly, wouldn't you do the same? She's my most wanted villager. I'm gonna be hunting for her very hard when the next villager of mine leaves the island. Her horns, color scheme, her birthday's on Halloween of all days. She's too cool. Smug. According to Google, smug means having or showing an excessive pride in oneself or one's achievements. So maybe a little bit of narcissism there. Well, it's good Chops has a lot of pride in himself because the community does not think the same way, as he's the most hated smug villager by the community. I think it's a bit unfair. Animal Crossing fans are always a little bit too mean to the pig villagers. I love some pigs, not just because they produce bacon, but they're cute, oink oink. And as for the most loved villagers that happen to be smug, number 3 we have Cephalobot, another octopus that I would not hug, this time because I don't trust AI. I feel like he could pull a Terminator and blow me up if I hug him too hard or not enough. As for the top 2 smug villagers, I've already talked about them too much. Number 2 is Marshall, number 1 is Raymond. Both are really cool dudes. Some may say they're overrated, maybe a little bit, but I do think they make sense as the most popular Animal Crossing villagers. They radiate that energy, and, you know, smug does mean excessive pride in oneself, and I think it kind of makes sense because they're the most loved villagers, so they probably have a lot of smugness because they're the most loved, so pretty interesting. Finally, Sister. Go watch that show. We stand to you, Tamara, on this channel. Anyway, sisterly villagers seem to get the short end of the stick. There's only 1 sisterly villager in the top 40 most loved villagers. Alright, 1 out of 40, despite having 1 out of 8 villagers. Pretty wild. So let's shine some light on sisterly villagers. But first, we have to cast a shadow on the community's least favorite sisterly villager, Paula. As if Carol Baskin wasn't hated enough online, you made her an Animal Crossing villager twin sister. Dead last in the rankings. Be careful. Carol's got a lot of power and influence. You don't want to mess with her. Certainly not me. Carol, if you're watching, I think your hair looks lovely. I love your style. Speaking of legendary, you all thought these 3 big sisters were the best thing since DJ Tanner. One of the most iconic big sisters in media. In 3rd place, it's Pashmina. I don't particularly care for this villager, but go off. Same with number 2, Mufi. Muffy, I guess the sisterly villagers do fall a bit short. If these are the two best designs you got, I'm not really feeling them. Except for first place. Now she's a winner, baby. It's Cherry. I can only sing high praises for Cherry. She's cool, calm, collected, self-aware. She's punk rock powerhouse boots. Gotta love her. Alright, so, which one of these rankings made you really mad? Which one do you agree with so much that you have to tell me? Or disagree with so much that you have to let everyone know? Comment down below right now. I'll be responding to a bunch of your comments, and I'll be making more of these videos since y'all really seem to like them. Make sure to subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Alright.